This is Matthew Duffy for MMA I'm speaking with Professional Fighters League heavyweight Kelvin the Mama's Boy Tiller. He's coming off a big first round knockout victory at PFL 1, and he'll be facing Jared Rosholt on Thursday, July 19th at PFL 4. First of all, Kelvin, thanks for taking the time to speak with me today, and congrats on the big win. How are you?
I'm good, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Everything's good. Training camp going good. I'm good, man. Thank you.
That's good to hear. So, you defeated Kyle Alencar. You got the first round knockout. You didn't seem to take much damage, but it's a pretty quick turnaround of only 6 weeks in between fights here. Does that affect how you prepare for this upcoming fight?
No, sir. It just actually just right back in the training camp is real good. Keeps the momentum going. Uh, Keeps the field going. It keeps everybody happy. We're all still warm, so training camp has been smooth. Everything has been really good. I like it. I like fighting back to back.
Great.
Like I said, it just keeps everything nice and smooth.
Great. So, did you take any time off after that fight, or did you just get right back into camp?
No, sir. I was back in the gym Monday. I didn't take no damage. I didn't get hit hard. No, we was right back into camp Monday.
Awesome. Awesome. So, where have you been training? Where's your camp located?
We're in Topeka, Kansas. It's I think like 160,000 people. Uh, Woodward Striking has been my coach actually since I was 10, and we went a little bit of time without speaking. But yeah, Woodward Striking, Topeka, Kansas. You
Cool.
know, that's I've been there for a long time, and we make things happen. We make big things happen.
Awesome, man. So, what do you know about your next opponent, Jared Rosholt?
Just a wrestler, just a wrestler. I haven't seen too much on him. I know he's a wrestler. I think All-American, and I don't know too much about the guy. All I know is I'm gonna win, and he got to fall and won. That's all I know.
All right. So, how do you see the fight playing it out? Just looking at it as any other fight, huh?
Yes, sir, man. I train for all of this. We work this over and over and over. I've been preparing for these moments for the last 10 years of my life. So to me, it's just another fight, just a bigger check. So I think it's gonna end in the first round. It won't go past the second, but I really do think it'll end in the first round.
All right. So, before PFL 1, you hadn't fought since January of 2017 with Shamrock FC, and that was your first heavyweight fight. You looked good, got the knockout in the first round. Before that, you fought in March of 2015. So, can you kind of give us some insight into, what was the reason for the time off?
Um, Injuries. I hurt my back after the January 2017 fight. I tore my Achilles, my left Achilles, and that put me out for a year. Just injuries, man. Just trying to get past that injury phase of my fight career. It's been a rocky road. It's been up and down, but I do believe I'm here to stay. I do believe my body is getting in better shape every day. Working with my strength and conditioning coach, Marquis Caesar, uh, and I've been doing yoga. I'm a big boy doing yoga, so injuries just what kept me out. So now that I'm back, I'm working hard. I'm training a lot smarter too. I don't train as hard as I used to. I just train a lot smarter, and I'm doing a lot of stability workouts. I'm doing a lot of track workouts, a lot of more running. Let's say a lot more stretching, and then everything. I feel like everything will flow together. So injuries kept me out, but I'm back and I'm here to stay.
Well, you certainly have been looking good at heavyweight. You fought at middleweight and light heavyweight earlier in your career. And as I mentioned, now you have two fights at heavyweight, two first round finishes. How do you feel as a heavyweight?
I feel good, man. I ain't got to cut weight no more. I ain't got to
Yeah.
cut. I was cutting like 40 plus pounds for those fights. A lot of people don't know that. 85 and
Wow.
then 205. And a lot of it was injuries, and then a lot of it I think I gave up on myself, and I lost motivation in somewhere down the line. But I feel like I redeemed my focus, the motivation. I got the right people behind me. My team is good. My kids keep me pushing. So yeah, heavyweight is where I would like to stay at. I would like to get it down to about 240. And I think that'd be the best Kelvin Tiller that we'll ever see is right when I'm around 240.
So you came in at right at the 265-pound limit last month. Did you have to cut any
Yes,
weight
sir.
to get down there?
Honestly, yes. uh, but it was smooth though because it was one of the first times ever that I actually wanted to eat healthy and wanted to. That's really it right there. Just my meal prepping, just what I was doing. I used to eat really bad, but like I say, everything was smooth. I woke up on weight. We didn't struggle with nothing. So we're
Awesome.
good. My weight right now is at 265, so I just stay right at the same exact weight. After this fight, going into the October fight, then that's when we'll start really slimming down. We knew we was fighting a wrestler. We knew we got to be strong, so we've been lifting heavy. We've been getting my hips into it, working on a lot of wrestling, of course. But besides that, nothing has really changed.
All right, good to hear, man. So earlier in your career, you had a lot of wins by submission. Do you feel now as a heavyweight, don't have to cut the weight? Do you feel some more power in your hands?
No, I think back then is I just know who I am now. Like I know what I'm capable of. Back then, when I was with Bellator, or World Series of Fighting, I still had doubts in my mind of the fighter that I didn't know who I was yet. I didn't know. I like now I'm just so confident in my stand up, and so everybody say, I don't got ground game, but people don't really look at my record. A lot of my, like you said, they come by submission.
Yeah.
So I'm good everywhere. I'm good everywhere. I don't prefer to knock somebody out over a submission or a submission over a knockout. I'm good everywhere. I've always said this. Wherever the fight goes, I will be comfortable. I believe I'll come out victorious. So I got it. My thing, leg kicks is my thing. Everybody know I like to leg kick. I like in a jab. So my overhand right, that's just coming into play. So if they just want to come in and try to dodge an overhand right, they already lost the fight because I'm good everywhere.
All right. Yeah, so your earlier fights, your ground game actually really stood out to me. Some great like defensive guard off your back, some good jiu-jitsu, solid wrestling. I know you were introduced as a boxer at PFL 1, but so do you feel like that's an area of your game where people aren't really aware of and you're kind of underrated at?
As far as my jujitsu,
Yeah, and your overall grappling, your jiu-jitsu, yeah.
yes, sir. Yeah, because when I showcase my jujitsu or well, actually my wrestling, is I've taken everybody down. Most of the guys that I fought, I have taken them down.
Mhm.
Double leg, I have got on top of them, ground and pound, and they give up their back, and I submit them. Like I am good everywhere. So yes, it's underrated, but by the end of this tournament, everybody will know who I am. Everybody will know what I'm good at. So let them keep underestimating me in certain areas. I'm good everywhere. So they'll all fall. They'll all lose. I promise.
So you mentioned, you started early in your career. You were 3-0 in Bellator. You had a fight with the World Series of Fighting. It was your only loss, but you were on the main card, and it was a close fight. You lost by decision. How do you feel like that prepared you for the PFL, fighting on those pretty big regional promotions?
Uh, the biggest show I've ever fought on actually was a show in St. Louis, and I don't remember how they sold tickets, but it was 12,000 people. The show was actually called Fight Me. It was in I believe it was Cuba, Missouri, or no, I think it was St. James, Missouri. Anyways, it was right by St. Louis, and it was actually a sold out, 12,000 people. It was huge, and that's when I fought Jake Collier, and I
Yeah,
believe he's not in the UFC right now.
yeah, I
Uh,
saw that. You fought him twice, I believe.
he beat me in amateur, and I
Mhm.
came back and beat him in pro ranks. But yeah, the big show. I just like to fight, so fighting to me is just in me. Big show, little show, it doesn't matter. That it doesn't prepare me. I'm a showsman. I've always been. I used to dance when I used to run track. I used to always just show out when I ran track. I used to show out when I danced. Everything that I've ever did, I've always been an entertainer first. So the bigger the crowd, the better I'll perform.
Yeah, so you mentioned you ran track. Can you just give us a little bit of info about your background as an athlete, growing up through elementary, middle school, high school, college?
Track until my junior year. I did summer track when I was 15, I believe. but I was just naturally fast. When I started track, I just came in, and then I just started beating everybody. I was a 100 meter, 200 meter, and a 4x1 runner. I was just explosive. I was big, and I just beat all the littler guys. And I never played football. I didn't play basketball. I didn't wrestle. I didn't box. Uh, so everything you see with me is it just comes natural. Everything.
So, how did you first get into MMA?
Shane Hutchinson, he was my first MMA coach. This guy seen me at I was at a store called Dillon's. It's a grocery store. I was in there, and he walks up to me and asked, "Do I want to go to uh, an MMA fight?" And I didn't know what it was. I was 18. I was in college at the time. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, "Well, what's that?" He was like, punching, kicking, elbows. I was like, "Oh shit, I want to fight then. I don't want to go watch." He was like, "Oh, well, this is something that you need to, train for." I was like, "I don't got to train for shit. Like, let me get in there. Let me show you I'm the shit." Hey, I was just a little cocky little kid, coming from the streets, just cocky, beating up a whole bunch of people in the streets. And so I met with him like 2 or 3 days. He gave me Shane Hutchinson's number, and I met him like 2 or 3 days later. And 155 or 145, I believe, he just took me down, got on top of me, and just beat the shit out of me. And I fell in love. I fell in love with the pain. I fell in love with everything it came with from that day. And I just stuck with it. And here I am today, about to fight for $1 million, about to win $1 million.
Mm-hmm. So, how soon after you started getting into MMA did you have your first amateur fight?
23 days later.
Wow. Yeah, so
Yes,
speaking
sir.
of your amateur career, I noticed, you had a few losses as an amateur. Was there ever a moment of doubt that maybe this wasn't for you, or how'd you keep your head up after that?
Never, never. No, my losses, everything. Like I say, every day in life, where I come from, and all the homies dying, little kids not making it to see 6 years old getting drive-by shootings, like that's life. That's real life. That's what people really have to worry about. And when I get into a cage with somebody, with a referee, and a check at the end of this is like it's exciting to me. I enjoy it. So it was never a point where I wanted to quit. Like I say, the first thing I learned about fighting was to enjoy the pain, to be humble and enjoy the pain. I fell in love with pain. I fell in love with getting kicked. I fell in love with getting punched, slammed on my neck, the twisted ankles, the knuckles pushed back into my hands because I don't know how to wear hand wraps. Um, the leg kicks, my knees hurting. I fell in love with all of that. I
Awesome.
fell in love with every bit of it, and that's why I believe that I surpass everybody because I put myself through all of the hardship of the MMA. I look at my guy Jared, and he got the same standard that he's been having for a long time, and I don't feel like he's actually put himself through those boxing and kickboxing workouts, over and over and over like I have. Like I put myself through the wrestling workouts, So that's why I believe that me and a lot of these other guys are separated from. Like I grew up. I've been jumped plenty of times, been hit with bottles, hit with bats, been shot at. Like I've been through all that. So that to me, that's real life. The shit that I do now in a cage, like that's for a check. That's for excitement for me. That's for my adrenaline rush. So
Awesome.
it, it, I'm separated from a lot of these other guys in this tournament.
I like your perspective, man. So, I'm sure you're really busy with training and spending time with your family, but when you have some free time, what are some things that you enjoy doing?
I like to shoot pool. That's pretty much. I like to shoot pool. My my mom and I, my sisters, we go to the movies a lot. We probably go way too much and spend way too much money. But those are things I like to do. I like to home right now, and the kids and I will sit around the house and play the game, play the PS4. Watch Netflix movies and watch shit on Pablo Escobar. Just watch Dragon Ball Z, just shit like that. I got a son that's about to be 12 this month, so he pretty much grown.
Awesome. Oh,
So I'm always busy. They keep me. It's exciting. I got a simple life, but it's an exciting life.
yeah, sounds like it. What are some games you like to play on PS4?
My favorite is Call of Duty. My son play all that Fortnite
Yeah.
shit and a whole bunch of stuff. Sorry, I'm moving. My phone is about to go dead, but there we go. We're good now.
All right. And so you seen any good movies recently?
Yesterday I just seen a new skyscraper with The Rock.
Okay. Yeah, oh, yeah, I just saw Rampage with him a couple of days ago.
Oh That's probably one of my favorite movies by him was Rampage.
Yeah,
That was a real good one.
yeah, it was entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Uh, we in the movies all the time, so I see a lot of movies.
nice, nice. You said you're spending a lot of money at the movies. Have you looked into the that movie pass?
No, I think my mom got one, but we just been doing this for so long. We go up, we pay for our tickets, and we go in
Yeah.
and spend too much fucking money on popcorn and sodas
Yeah, that's
and
where they get you.
for all the kids. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so Daniel Cormier, he's a guy who's been in headlines recently, and like you, he's a guy who's fought at light heavyweight and now heavyweight. Uh, First of all, did you tune in for UFC 226?
Yes, sir, I did.
Awesome. Do you watch so you watch a lot of UFC, MMA, and like other?
Uh-huh.
All right. Are there
I
any?
usually watch.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying I usually watch all of the shows. Yes.
Yeah. So, is there any like specific fighters, current or active, that you kind of look up to or kind of model your game after?
Cain Velasquez. I love Cain. I love John Jones. Um, those are two of my favorites. I like Conor McGregor. Uh, I like the Diaz brothers. I can go on because I put in more time into studying fight videos than I actually do in the gym. Like that, I feel like that's why that's why I'm so good is because I study and that's all I do is study, 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 study. So I can go on forever, but I would have to say Cain Velasquez is number one. John Jones is number two. Used to be Anderson Silva.
Yeah, I see
Uh,
some Anderson Silva in your, especially in your earlier fights with your head movement and stuff for sure, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all from him. Him and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Well,
But
hopefully
yeah,
we'll see those guys
John
you mentioned.
Jones,
Hopefully we'll see them all back in the octagon sometime soon, huh?
I sure hope so. They killing me. We
Yeah,
can get off the drugs and quit doing shit at buses. And so
yeah.
hopefully we can fight soon.
So before the interview, you mentioned to me that you were cutting some hair, and I saw on your Instagram page it says future barber. Is that something that
Uh-huh.
you do now, or you'd like to do after your fighting career?
I actually want to. I haven't started school yet, but I have a cousin in Kansas City that has his own barbershop. He's in Missouri, and so once I get my license, I'll probably go work for him for a little bit to learn the business.
Cool,
But the goal is to own my own gym, my own barbershop. Those are two things that I do want to own.
cool. So how'd you discover an interest in that?
Oh, we used to mess our heads up when we was 10, 11 years old. And so probably about 15, 16 years old, I really had a like for it. Then it became, let's say about 22, it became a passion. And then that's when I really started investing in myself. Even though I haven't got my license yet, my barber's license, I still take about an hour and a half to 2 hours a day to practice, to study, to watch different videos on shading, to use the razor blade. So I like to perfect everything that I do. So once I'm in school, I believe it'll be a breeze.
Awesome.
I'll get right through it. Yes, sir.
So you're in the PFL now. It's a pretty big platform, I'd say. Is this a moment where you feel like all the hard work and dedication to the sport is really starting to pay off, or do you feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg for you?
I feel like it's starting to pay off. I think this is still the beginning. I just turned 28 years old,
Yeah,
like 3 weeks ago, I believe, and I believe I'm just now getting started. Heavyweight division, the $1 million tournament. I believe I'll win it this year. I can win it next year. And who's to say what's after that? But I believe this is just the beginning. I believe I got a lot of fight left in me, and I will. People will know who I am
cool. So
within the next, not the end of the year, but for sure the next two years, they'll know who I am.
all right. So you say you hope to win PFL this year, maybe next year, but the UFC, they're always looking for heavyweight talent. I believe they just released the cast list for they're trying to find some new heavyweights with the Ultimate Fighter this year. So if the
Uh-huh.
UFC comes calling, are you going to answer that call? Is that the ultimate goal here?
I can't say that the UFC is not my dream. But right now, because I've been doing this for 10 years, and it's been a lot of up and downs.
Mhm.
PFL is paying. They're paying us good fucking money, They're paying us life-changing money so where I can take care of my kids and still start my businesses. So I can't sit here and say I'll go to the UFC if they gave me the call right away.
Good
They'll
to
have to have a good offer, and my manager will have to, agree with it because he's taking care of me. Shout out to Sucker Punch ENT, Brian Butler. I love those guys. But yeah, I have to talk to those guys first. But I like PFL right now. They
awesome.
treat me good, even though it's only been one fight. When I was World Series of Fighting, they, some of those guys they treated me good, and I like them all. I haven't had no issues out of them.
Cool. Well, I'm sure that if you keep fighting the way you have been, we'll see you in the UFC sometime.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna get that belt too.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kelvin, thanks for taking the time to speak with us. But before we go, where can fans find you on social media?
Uh, Facebook is just Kelvin Tiller. Um, Instagram is the King Kelvin altogether, or I'm sure you just put in Kelvin Tiller and my name will pop up. But my name is the King Kelvin, and that's really all I got. Just Facebook and Instagram.
All
I'm
right.
not big on social media. Uh, so yeah, that's really it, man.
All right. Any sponsors or anybody you want to shout out?
MHP, Dragon Coin, my sponsors. And I want to shout out my gym, Wilbur Striking, LFC, Show Up and Show Out. Uh, that's really it. And my family, how y'all doing?
All right. Well, thanks again for the time, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was listening.
What'd you say? Sorry, cut you off there.
I was just giving Sucker Punch a shout out.
Oh,
Sorry.
all right. My bad for cutting you off. So once again, man, thanks for the time. I appreciate you speaking to me today, and best of luck to you on Thursday.
Thank you very much, sir. You have a good day.
You too, man. Take care.